Outrageous Chapter 62. Question: would anybody be able to be calm when they see their dorm mate getting out of the car of a big celebrity's assistant anyway? Lu Mingming and the rest couldn't. Liu Shijiao had been interrogated from the lobby of the dorm building all the way to the room. Hey, Liu Shijiao, what's going on? Lu Mingming closed the door, her expression shocked. Why were you with Sang Wanxi's assistant? Liu Shijiao smiled and put her bag down, unpacking her things. Nothing. They didn't believe it. The two of them turned around, dragging their chairs in front of Liu Shijiao and blocking her path. Classmate Liu Shijiao, you can't do this. You have to give us a reasonable explanation. We'll be lenient if you confess, strict if you refuse. You're not allowed to go if you can't explain it. That's right, if you don't explain it we'll stay here. I can sleep on your table and Yang Yi will sleep on the floor. Classmate Lu Mingming, please don't take the opportunity to attack your ally. Liu Shijiao leaned against the edge of the table, looking at them in amusement. How should she explain it? Directly say, I went to my sister's house for the weekend and Sang Wanxi coincidentally came to stay over. This group of people would go nuts. At this moment, Lu Mingming's brain filled in the blank and she suddenly suggested a bold idea. Wait, you said you went to your sister's house for the weekend, could it be that your sister is Sang Wanxi? Yang Yi covered her mouth in shock, as if she was having fun. My god, Liu Shijiao, you've hidden it so well. Liu Shijiao, you guys really have a vivid imagination with this talent. Why don't you go be scriptwriters? Besides, their surnames weren't even the same, how could they put the two of them together? She held her forehead, speechless. Did you guys ever think that my surname is Liu? Lu Mingming didn't care, so what? Sang Wanxi didn't take her father's surname either, she's following her mother's. This was something that Sang Wanxi had spoken about herself in an interview. Many people had tried to investigate her background, but hadn't managed to find out who her parents are until this day. It could only be said that she protected her family's privacy well. Liu Jiwei was even more speechless. Wake up, my mother's not surnamed Sang either. Yang Yi stroked her chin in pity. What a waste, I thought I could be dorm mates with a big celebrity's family member. Liu Shijiao raised an eyebrow. Maybe she really could be. When her sister got popular, then she would also truly be a family member of a popular star. Lu Mingming couldn't understand. Then why did you sit in her assistant's car and come back to school? Yeah, she's an alumnus and had to come back to do something. I bumped into her when I was on my way back and she was kind-hearted enough to send me over. Liu Shijiao turned and started taking her books out of her bag with a calm expression. She's a very approachable person, don't think of her as being high and mighty. She was talking about Xiao Qiu, but also about Sang Wanxi. More than that, she was saying it to herself too. Before this weekend, she thought a person like Sang Wanxi would be aloof and cold, unapproachable and unfriendly. After this weekend, she finally realized it wasn't as she thought. No matter how much success a celebrity had, they were still humans with flesh and blood. They would eat, they would drink, they would cry, they would laugh and they would even fight for someone's affections like a child. So she felt that no matter whether if someone is a fan or a celebrity, nobody should idolize the industry. No matter how much praise celebrities got, they were still humans in the end, not gods. But her biggest gain this weekend was that she repaired her relationship with her sister. It wasn't awkward like she thought, filled with uncomfortable silence. She only felt comfortable when staying with Liu Jiwei, able to feel that she was a child her sister loved and treasured. Really good. Being able to be Liu Jiwei's younger sister was really good. Lu Mingming, hey, it's that simple. Lu Shijiao's expression didn't change. Yeah, it's that simple. If you don't believe it, then there's no other reason to. Because Xiao Chu was indeed an alumnus, Lu Mingming could only believe it. She immediately looked envious. Tisk, why don't I have that sort of luck to be able to get a ride with a celebrity's assistant? I could even ask for an autograph. Sigh. Lu Shijiao joked, meeting me is also a form of luck. Lu Mingming looked at her with disdain. Go away. The two of them fooled around. At this time, Yang Yi's phone rang. Her boyfriend asked her out to have milk tea. Yang Yi got up frustratedly. Ah, this idiot, I just came upstairs. Then she complained as she left. Lu Mingming watched her leave enviously, sighing, ah. When will someone invite me out? Lu Shijiao thought about it. She reached out and patted her. I'll invite you. Lu Mingming came back to her senses, hugging herself. Don't be like this, I like men. It's best if they're like Qiu Luo, or Ying Xize, I'm not picky. Lu Shijiao. Wake up, I have no intentions towards you. She pulled out 2 variety show tickets. Tuesday, it's in An City, do you want to go? I have 2 tickets, and there are no classes that day. Ying Xize and Sang Wansi will be there. Fuck. Lu Mingming immediately stood up and held her hand agitatedly. Baby, from today onwards, you're the best person in the world. Then you're agreeing. Rubbish, there's a handsome guy and a pretty girl, can I not go? Besides, with your road blindness, I'm afraid you'll get lost outside if I don't go. It's not that serious, okay. Exaggeration, exaggeration. Lu Shijiao kept the tickets and patted her shoulder, then you should go and study, work hard. Lu Mingming, no rush, there are still 2 weeks left to revise, I can still slack off for a bit. Lu Shijiao didn't say anything else. She believed Lu Mingming would be able to manage herself, being one of the top 10 students. If Lu Mingming was going to fail, she wouldn't have invited her out to relax so easily. Just like Lu Jiwei said, studying was the most important thing for a student, nothing else could compare. Lu Jiwei sat on the front passenger seat as she looked at the scenery outside of the window. Her hands rested on her knees and they scratched her pants legs nervously. She was a bit nervous and agitated, because it was her first time on a variety show. Tonight's variety show was going to be streamed live, with viewers tuning in online, so it really tested one's ability to react. The script had been passed to each artiste's team, listing out the questions clearly. Wen Yao glanced at Lu Jiwei's hands through her peripheral vision, then continued looking at the road. Sister Jiwei, don't worry, relax, don't worry about not being able to do well, don't press sunrise yourself. Just do what you normally do, I'm sure it'll be fine. Lu Jiwei smiled gently, I got it, thank you. Her nervousness came from experiencing a new facet of work, so even if she was confident she would do well, she was still nervous. Besides, she was just a small supporting character, the variety show will definitely be focusing on Sang Wansi and Ying Xize, so there wasn't much burden on her. She sighed, trying her best to control her emotions. At this time, the system that had been quiet for a long while finally came out. Mission issued, successfully complete the variety show. System reminder, no time limit. Lu Jiwei. She was starting to believe the system really was turning into the male protagonist's career system. Otherwise, why didn't she see this system coming out to make trouble when she was with Sang Wansi the last 2 days? No, wait, the system not making trouble was a good thing, Why did she feel suspicious? It must be because the system was too outrageous and caused psychological trauma to her. She always felt that if the system was quiet, it was lying in wait to come out with a big mission. She couldn't help but start to pray in her heart. This believer is willing to eat a balanced mix of meat and vegetables for the rest of her life. No, I already used this method to beg for Wan Si to not see the fanfic, and she still saw it. Not only did she see it, she even let me see it. It's clear this method didn't work, she had to change to another one. Liu Jiwei prayed earnestly in her heart, this believer is willing to use Lao Wu's life to eat a balanced mix of meat and vegetables for the rest of his life, in exchange for the system to not make trouble and embarrass me in public. I'm begging. Lao Wu asked, what does this have to do with me? Liu Jiwei said, you're part of the system, maybe using you to pray will work. Besides, I'm just thinking of you. Having a balanced diet is good for your health. You sit there fixing the program every day, it's so bad for your health. It's a good thing for me to help you adjust your diet, right? Lao Wu pushed his spectacles up, you don't have to worry, my body is fine, the muscles can be seen already. Speaking about it, he was a little proud. He was another step closer to Bai Ji's ideal type. Maybe the next time they met, he would be a man who could let Bai Ji personally check his 8-pack. Liu Jiwei, wow, that's good. She immediately saw the opportunity, sharing joy is better than being joyful alone, how about issuing more immunity passes so I can feel your joy too? Lao Wu said emotionlessly, no, I like being joyful alone, thanks. Liu Jiwei was already waiting at the back of the stage after getting her makeup done. She wore a black, floral dress with a red bow tie hair clip at the back of her head, and the ends of her hair were slightly curled. She sat there, looking obedient and gentle. Sang Wan Si and Ying Xize both saw her sitting there quietly when they came out from their respective makeup rooms. The two of them walked towards her. Jiwei. Sis. Liu Jiwei raised her head, looking back and forth between the two of them. Oh, you two are ready. Sang Wan Si and Ying Xize both had their own makeup artists. Their makeup artist knew how to bring out their good looks to the maximum. When they appeared in front of Liu Jiwei, she only felt that they were very good looking. If the world had a question called what does it feel like to live surrounded by attractive men and women? That must be designed for her. It would be such a waste if they didn't invite her to answer it. Big sis, long time no see. Ying Xize walked up, holding his arms out as he planned to hug Liu Jiwei. Then, he got pushed away by Sang Wan Si. Sang Wan Si held onto Liu Jiwei's hand and pulled her behind her, protecting her. She looked at Ying Xize blandly, men and women shouldn't be too close. Ying Xize. He hugged himself, all right. With a hint of pitifulness from being disdained. Liu Jiwei thought, Sang Wan Si really was someone who always compared herself to Ying Xize. She wasn't even willing to share her with Ying Xize now, even a little bit. Okay, let's stop playing around. Ying Xize looked at his phone. My manager is calling me, I'll go ahead first. Wait for you guys in front. Liu Jiwei nodded, watching as he jogged away. Then, she walked towards the front with Sang Wan Si by her side. Sang Wan Si still hadn't let go of her hand yet, her fingertips brushing against the back of Liu Jiwei's hand. At this moment, they looked like a pair of intimate lovers. Not here to participate in a show, but just slowly strolling and accompanying each other. All the best parts of life were frozen in this moment. Liu Jiwei suddenly selfishly hoped that this path could become a little longer, long enough to lead to the end of their years. This way, she could be considered to have accompanied Sang Wansi for the rest of their lives. Ji Wei. Sang Wansi suddenly said. MMLU Ji Wei replied. Sang Wansi held onto her hand as she leaned over, whispering in her ear, very pretty. From the moment she walked out of the room and saw the person sitting on the chair, her eyes could no longer see any other colors. Her Ji Wei was really too good looking. She was praised. And it was even by the person she liked. Lu Ji Wei's heart bloomed as she smiled warmly. Our teacher Sang is pretty too. Very pretty, extremely pretty. Pretty each and every day. Her Wansi was like the transformation of flowers, of the moon, of everything beautiful on earth. Perfect, flawless. Their teacher Sang was the best looking person on earth. No refusal accepted. Sang Wansi watched as Lu Ji Wei smiled at her. She watched as Lu Ji Wei's moist lips parted as she complimented her. In an instant, she immediately wanted to kiss her again. And then ask her, then why haven't you fallen for this extremely pretty person my Ji Wei? What do I have to do to become the moon on the tip of your heart? This is your first time on a show, don't be nervous later, Sang Wansi said gently as she suppressed her own desire. I'm here, don't worry. Her words were like magic, those ordinary words were more effective than thousands of words. They softly landed in Lu Ji Wei's heart, easing her discomfort. I'm not scared. She slowly held onto Sang Wansi's hand tighter. Sang Wansi looked into her eyes. There was a second where Sang Wansi felt that she wasn't the same in Lu Ji Wei's heart. This feeling lasted all the way until the start of the show. Then, it was shattered by Lu Ji Wei herself. Sang Wansi watched as Lu Ji Wei sat in the corner and laughed and chatted with the actress who played the role of the female consort. She even reached out to help the other person adjust their clothes. Sang Wansi. Looks like she's the same as everybody else. The show was focusing on the two main leads, so they naturally had most of the scenes. As a small supporting character, Lu Ji Wei didn't have much to do aside from standing in the corner and chatting with others to calm her nervousness. Besides, the host had not even mentioned her. If she was to stand there and keep staring, it would be a bit too embarrassing. Unexpectedly, the internet viewers caught her chatting with the actress. Look, someone's distracted. Host, call them. Ha 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 ha. Sang, why do you keep looking there? Do you want to chat with Jia too? Ying wants to chat too. Wow, Lu Ji Wei's so cute when she's wearing normal clothes. Unaware of all this, Lu Ji Wei spoke to the actress for a bit then ended the conversation, paying attention to the host. Coincidentally, the host also brought the topic to her. The next question will be answered by our Miss Xiao He. As the words landed, Sang Wansi did not even think before she stretched out a hand to Lu Ji Wei. Lu Ji Wei acted out of habit, jogging behind the other actors to hold onto Sang Wansi's hand, just like how the wind would always chase after the moon each night. The two of them stood side by side, letting the CP fans explode. Save me, how can I get CP feelings just by them holding hands? This definitely isn't my problem. Fuck, they are so compatible. What official pairing, isn't this fragrant? Do you two have to hold hands just to answer a question? I need a blood pack. JPG. The host did not forget to prompt them on their good relationship. You guys have to hold hands even on the show. It looks like both of you have a good relationship in private too. Hearing that, Lu Ji Wei was so nervous she instinctively loosened her grip on Sang Wansi's hand, as if they were lovers who got caught. But in that instant, she felt something was wrong. What's wrong with two girls holding hands? Why was she so nervous? Besides, this was on a show, if it got out, nobody knew how it would spread outside. Immediately, she pretended to be calm and held on to Sang Won-Si's arm. Teacher Sang is a good person, she was afraid I will be nervous since it's my first time on a show, so she said she'll accompany me. Haha, don't be nervous, we don't eat people on our show. Okay, let us talk about the question. What was the biggest emotion that Xiao He's role brought to you? Lu Jiwei took the microphone and was about to answer, but there was no sound when she opened her mouth. Everybody's gaze fell on her, as if asking what she did wrong. Encountering this for the first time, Lu Jiwei did not know what to do. She froze, her brain going blank. At this moment, another microphone was raised up from her side. Sang Won-Si held it up for her, calm and not rushed. The two of them shared a look. Lu Jiwei saw comfort in her eyes. I am here, don't be scared. As if comforted, Lu Jiwei calmed down. She continued answering the question using the microphone that Sang Won-Si was holding up. Their hands were still clasped together, looking like a pair of new actors sharing a single microphone. The number of people shipping the CP on screen was getting more and more. These two look like a couple that was pulled off the street for an interview. Save me, what kind of newlywed scenario is this? Xiao Ying helped to change the microphone, looks like he's a little brother that runs errands. Zia, you are useless. Your wife has run away with her maid, and I am going to run with them too. Backstage, Wen Yao and Zhang Xianrui looked at the comments on the screen. But they felt, the online viewers were becoming more and more biased. Not only biased, but so enthusiastic that others could not withstand it. Lu Shijiao thought so too. She lay in bed, looking at all the I ship this comments on the screen and felt that the online viewers could not be like this. Her sister and Sang Won-Si were just friends. Shipping them as a real couple would only result in hurt. There wouldn't be a real ending. Wake up, shippers, change a pairing. As for the enemy who was snatching her sister from me, Ying Xize. Seeing that, he immediately reacted and busied himself with helping Lu Jiwei change her microphone, then helping Lu Jiwei take a blanket to cover her legs. She would temporarily let him be Lu Jiwei's little brother. For 3 minutes. The filming ended. Lu Jiwei changed out of her filming clothes and got into the car, resting tiredly in the front passenger seat as she exhaled. System reminder, mission successfully complete, variety show achieved. Mission point +1. Please work hard, host. She slowly opened her eyes. Did this system have some power to know the future? Or else why would they have issued her this mission? Did the system also know that her microphone would suddenly not work if Sang Won-Si hadn't saved the day just now? She might have stood there in a daze for a long time. She suddenly remembered, the system even issued a mission to act as a main lead. Act, not sign the contract. That means that the mission was not completed until she actually joined the production crew. She was suddenly scared. Was something else going to happen? Seeing her scare herself, Lao Wu comforted her. If it was the original plot, the system does have the ability to predict the future. But now that the plot has been messed up, this ability is no longer valid. Now it can only give you missions that might have some additional requirements. Do not misunderstand it as some prediction. Lu Jiwei was relieved. How about it? Lao Wu asked in anticipation. Facing the unknown future, isn't it a bit exciting? Lu Jiwei, ordinary and bland is best. After Wen Yao got on the car, she said happily, did you check your phone? Lu Jiwei had not taken a look at her phone since the start of filming until now, so she only turned her head to look at Wen Yao, raising her eyebrows in confusion. Wen Yao, you are on the hot search again. Lu Zhiwei. Wen Yao, now the netizens are all thinking that you and Sangwon Si have a CP feeling, they are clamoring for the two of you to work together in a movie about a same-sex relationship. Lu Zhiwei. Even this could be ship, she could not understand, picking up her phone to look at the hot search. The hot search did have a topic there, Sangwon Si x Lu Zhiwei, perfect. Clicking in, it was about her and Sangwon Si's actions on the show. She looked at each post with the same how the fuck can this be shipped confusion. As she looked, her expression softened. Until she couldn't look away at the end. Woo, we are too easy to ship. She paused. We of you, why cannot the two of us just be real? Lao Wu was speechless. You're probably the first celebrity I have seen that feels that their own CP is easy to ship. Tuesday came around in a flash. Lu Shijiao happily pulled Lu Mingming to the filming venue. Of course, she did not forget to learn from Sangwon Si and wore a cap and mask, to avoid being recognized by Lu Zhiwei. It was a bit amazing. Others disguised themselves because they were celebrities and did not want to be recognized. On the other hand, she had to disguise herself as a fan in case her idol recognized her. Besides that, she also prepared a support towel and support sticks. It's fine if there were not many fans, but there had to be support. But before she entered the recording studio, Lu Shijiao suddenly received a call from her mother. It was noisy and not conducive for a call. She could only let Lu Mingming go in first while she searched for a place to take the call. Okay, Lu Mingming said. Hurry up, don't get lost. Lu Zhiwei said in amusement, is it so easy for me to get lost? Go in. After Lu Mingming went in, she went against the flow of traffic to find a quiet place to take the call. Mother Lu did not have anything much to say, she just wanted to ask when Lu Shijiao's school holiday would start. She patiently answered. After Mother Lu hung up, she looked up. Hey, she was lost. No, how were there suddenly so many paths? Which path did I come from just now? Is there any worker patrolling around? Why is not there even a sign? She tried to recall as she typed a message to Lu Mingming. I remember I came around the corner. Thinking about it, she carefully went around the corner. Then she bumped into someone. Her head unceremoniously knocked into the person's body. She took a step back and froze. Lifting her eyes, she suddenly felt suffocated. Ying Xize. Looking at the unfamiliar girl who appeared in the employees' area, Ying Xize asked, who are you, why are you here? Looking at her appearance, mask, hat. She was covered up heavily, as if afraid people would recognize her and acting suspiciously. This could not be. You cannot be a paparazzi here to take photos secretly, Ying Xize asked doubtfully. Lu Shijiao. She hastily explained, I am not, I am just lost. She took out the support towel from her bag to prove it. See, I have a ticket, and support towels. Ying Xize looked at it and suddenly understood. Oh, you are my sister's fan. Lu Shijiao. That is my sister. Outrageous Chapter 63. Lu Shijiao truly felt like Ying Xize's my sister was said too smoothly. So smoothly that it was as if he was the one with a real biological relationship with Lu Zhiwei. So smoothly that it made the veins pop out from her forehead. Damn it, don't all of you have sister, why do you have to snatch my big sister? She wanted to defend her dignity as the real younger sister. But when she opened her mouth and her breath hit the mask, she calmed down. No, I can't reveal it. If Ying Xize directly brought her to Liu Jiwei and wanted Liu Jiwei to verify it, then she was doomed. Thinking about it, she couldn't help but take a step backwards and swallow her anger. Humph! I will let you temporarily be my sister's little brother for now. At this moment, Ying Xize suddenly bent down in front of her. She was frightened, hastily stepping back. Then she saw Ying Xize pick up the support stick from the ground. You dropped your item. Liu Shijiao took it with both hands, replying reluctantly, thank you. Ying Xize had come out to use the washroom. He didn't expect to meet a lost fan. He looked around, there was no employee in sight. Then he looks at this young lady who had her head lowered and was holding on to the support stick. Then he looked at his watch. It's still early, let us go, I'll send you back to the broadcasting hall. Liu Shijiao looked up in surprise. Ying Xize smiled, nearby entrance. Liu Shijiao suddenly felt embarrassed, no need, if it's convenient you can just give me directions, thank you. Ying Xize smiled and walked in front of her, ignoring her suggestion, come on, I'll bring you there. This broadcasting station's layout is a bit complicated, I got lost the first time I came here too. He wouldn't leave her alone to run about. Besides the complicated layout, he simply wasn't sure if she was really a fan or not. If she was a paparazzi, then once she left, wouldn't she just try to find another opportunity to sneak in? If she was a real fan, then it wouldn't be anything for him to step in and help solve her problem of being lost if there was no employee around. After all, this was Liu Jiwei's fan. Helping her would be helping Liu Jiwei. Liu Shijiao still wanted to refuse, but Ying Xize had already started walking with his long legs. Liu Shijiao bit her lip. Forget it, let us just follow him, it's most important to get back to the hall quickly. The hallway was lit brightly. The leather shoes made a tapping sound as they stepped on the floor. The man's back was tall and slender with broad shoulders and a narrow waist. It was clear he had a good figure and paid attention to managing his body well. He didn't turn back much. Liu Shijiao didn't stick close to him either. The two of them kept a safe distance from each other, one in front and one behind. Ying Xize asked what she liked about Liu Jiwei. Liu Shijiao paused for a moment, then replied without thinking, everything. Because she was a warm, gentle, kind elder sister, so she liked everything. There were no flaws, only good points. Liu Shijiao couldn't help but ask, what about you? Why do you treat her as a big sister? Hearing that, Ying Xize laughed. Of course it was because he felt that it was really good to be seriously cared about by her. There were other forms of care besides love, like friendship and kinship. Actually, if anybody else had treated him so well and cared so much for him, he would also be very willing to treat them as an older brother or older sister. But the person who did it was Liu Jiwei, so it was Liu Jiwei. Ying Xize didn't want to be honest and say that Liu Jiwei had once comforted the broken-hearted him. How could he let a stranger know that he had suffered in love before? So he said, because she's older than me, so she's my sister. Liu Shijiao. What sort of rubbish reason is that? Don't you have your own sister? It's too much. She has a younger sister, Liu Shijiao complained. She doesn't like people calling her big sis. Ying Xize suddenly stopped, how do you know she has a Mimi? He felt like Liu Jiwei hadn't spoken to outsiders about her family situation. Then how did this person? No, Liu Shijiao stated righteously, I'm her fan, iron fan. Of course she told me herself, you can ask her if you don't believe it. Ying Xize didn't question her, continuing to bring her to the hall. You like Sang Wansi? Liu Shijiao suddenly asked. Ying Xize. He suddenly turned around, you're too gossipy, I'm not showing you the route anymore, bye bye. Liu Shijiao quickly coaxed him. Don't. I won't speak anymore, I promise. She didn't know the way. If Ying Xize really left her here and Lu Mingming couldn't find her, then she really had no other options. Really? Ying Xize asked. Really? Liu Shijiao promised. Ying Xize, then go on. Liu Shijiao was confused. Ying Xize pointed at the corner, make a turn there and you'll be at the entrance of the hall, you've reached already. Liu Shijiao. Damn it, she was tricked. Ying Xize didn't care about the annoyance in her eyes, looking at his phone, I'm leaving. Then he recalled, lowering his head, let me see your face. Liu Shijiao quickly retreated. Ying Xize was smiling, but his tone was serious, if you're really a paparazzi here to take photos, I need to remember your face. If you cause any trouble, I'll be able to point you out. He lifted a hand and pointed at the support stick for Liu Jiwei, if you use the identity as a fan of hers to come and make trouble, I won't let you go either. Liu Shijiao. She couldn't even get angry. Although she had been misunderstood, but Ying Xize was doing it out of good intentions, and he was also protecting Liu Jiwei. Thinking about her sister having someone to protect her in this industry, she was rather happy. Liu Shijiao smoothly removed her mask, then took off her hat and even turned her face left and right, letting him get a good look. Remembered yet? It was a clear, beautiful face with a clean and pure bearing. Like everybody's first love. Ying Xize imprinted this face in his memory, smiling, thanks for cooperating, I've remembered. I'm leaving. Wait. Liu Shijiao shouted. Ying Xize turned back. Liu Shijiao said, if you see Liu Jiwei, you're not allowed to tell her what I look like. If you must say, just say you saw a fan. Ying Xize couldn't understand, why? Liu Shijiao's sundara side showed, none of your business, I'm willing to not be recognized. Ying Xize compromised, alright then. In the makeup room, everybody was chatting away. Ying Xize was immediately teased once he got back. Why did you take so long in the washroom? If you didn't come back, we would have suspected you had fallen in. My tools are all ready, I was just about to go fish you out. Ying Xize waved his hands in amusement, scram, I was just delayed by something on the way back. Liu Jiwei leaned against the makeup table beside Sang Wansi as she asked curiously, what is it? Ying Xize turned to look at her, smiling secretively, helping a lost fan chase her dreams. Liu Jiwei and Sang Wansi looked at each other. Sang Wansi couldn't help but steal a few more glances at Liu Jiwei. Liu Jiwei's attire today was refreshing and simple with her hair up in a ponytail, and a white shirt and black denim shorts. Her makeup was clean and clear as well. Looking at her, it was even more comfortable. Her shirt was oversized with a big collar, showing off her collarbone. Sang Wansi's gaze openly flitted across her collarbone and trailed upwards over her pale neck that didn't have any accessories, before finally stopping at her eyes. Jiwei. I want to add something to your neck. Add what? Liu Jiwei blinked curiously. Sang Wanxi stood up, taking off the black lace strap from her left wrist. This was a matching accessory for her black one-shoulder dress today. There were two of them. But now she felt just one side was good enough. The other one would look better on Liu Jiwei's neck. Liu Jiwei stood there letting her do as she wanted. Sang Wanxi's actions were very light. When the black lace strap touched her neck, Liu Jiwei felt as if Sang Wanxi was putting on a necklace for her. Done. Sang Wanxi held onto her shoulders. She turned around to look at the mirror. Sang Wanxi had tied a butterfly knot, with the two ends trailing down her chest. The colors matched her outfit as well. So amidst the refreshing vibe, there was a hint of seduction added. Liu Jiwei felt that this looked much better compared to when her neck was empty. She looked at Sang Wanxi in the mirror and praised, "It looks good, it's truly our fashionable teacher Sang." Sang Wanxi helped her adjust her ponytail and smiled gently, "As long as you like it." Ying Xize looked at them. Sometimes, he really suspected they were dating. Thinking about Liu Shijiao, he asked Liu Jiwei, "Did you tell your iron fan that you have a Mimi?" Liu Jiwei thought of Jiao Qiao and said, "Yes." Ying Xize was relieved. 5 minutes later, an employee came over. "Teachers, you can all proceed to the stage." Lu Mingming finally relaxed when she saw Liu Shijiao come back. She asked in a low voice, "Good fellow, how did you manage to get lost when making a call?" Liu Shijiao rubbed her nose embarrassedly. She didn't think that she could get lost while finding a place to make a call either. It must be because this TV station's layout is too confusing. Ying Xize had also said he had been lost before, it had to be. Lu Mingming raised a thumb, "You're really impressive, Liu Shijiao." Liu Shijiao smiled awkwardly, "It's an accident." Lu Mingming, "Then how did you get back?" Liu Shijiao didn't know what to say. She thought for a moment, then replied, "I met a kind-hearted person." "A serious and kind-hearted person?" Thinking about it, Ying Xize isn't too bad. Aside from when he was snatching her sister from her. She put on her hat and mask again. Lu Mingming asked curiously, "Aren't you hot?" Liu Shijiao's face didn't change, "Not hot, I'm afraid of getting on TV." Lu Mingming laughed, "The audience cam might not sweep over you." Liu Shijiao, what if? What if Liu Jiwei recognized her? Then it would be the most awkward scene. The hosts on the stage were giving opening remarks to start the show. Soon, it was time for tonight's main acts to enter. First up, it was the male and female leads for Phoenix, Sang Wanxi and Ying Xize. They sang one of the songs from Phoenix, appearing on stage amidst fog and petals floating down from the sky. One was beautiful, one was handsome, they were both very attractive. The people standing below the stage were heated up. Lu Mingming was screaming too, "Ah, Zeze is so handsome, Sang Sang is so pretty." On the other hand, Liu Shijiao was unbelievably composed. She sat there calmly. Lu Mingming suddenly felt like she was so calm it was like she had attended just to boost the numbers in the crowd. Soon, this feeling was gone. Once Liu Jiwei walked on stage with the rest of the actors, Liu Shijiao pulled open the hand towel with a swoosh and raised it up fiercely. Her eyes were even brighter than the support stick in her hand. Afraid Liu Jiwei couldn't see it, she even raised her hand straight up. The only thing she didn't do was jump to her feet and bounce up and down. Lu Mingming. When did she prepare the hand towel? When did she buy the support stick? So the celebrity you're chasing is Liu Jiwei. Liu Shijiao turned her head to look at her and smiled, "That's right. That's her sister, impressive right? Lu Mingming finally reacted, ah, you're both surnamed Lu. Lu Shijiao froze, her brain working quickly on an excuse. If Lu Mingming realized the relationship between her and Lu Jiwei, she had to get Lu Mingming to keep it a secret and not tell anybody else. She couldn't run to Lu Jiwei's Weibo and say stuff like your little sister is my dorm mate. Since she had to work secretly, then of course everything had to be in secret. The next second, she heard Lu Mingming exclaim, how coincidental, I also chased a male star with the same surname as me in the past. She completely didn't think that they were blood related. After saying that, Lu Mingming turned back and continued cheering for the handsome man and pretty woman on the stage. Lu Shijiao looked at her, speechless. Outrageous! Truly outrageous! Previously, they could have suspected that Sang Wansi was her sister even though they didn't share a surname. Now that they did share a surname, it was just coincidental. Classmate Lu Mingming, you win. Forget it, it's better that she didn't suspect anything. Lu Shijiao also continued showing her support for her sister. My sister is too pretty tonight. On stage, Lu Jiwei stood there, holding the microphone. Her eyes drifted around the lower level. Most of the fans here came to support Ying Xize and Sang Wansi led boards, hand towels and support sticks, they all came prepared. Just with a glance, you could feel their passionate support and like for Sang Wansi and Ying Xize. Unexpectedly, she had fans here to support her too. Just a few here and there. They were drowned out by the overwhelming number of fans for other actors, standing out in the crowd. But in her eyes, they each shone like a star, hard to ignore. Surprise filled her eyes, accompanied by an unspeakable joy. Wow! She had support too. Lu Shijiao saw Lu Jiwei smile in her direction, as if she was very happy to be able to see them. So she got even more heated in her support. If she could, she really wanted to tell Lu Jiwei work hard. And she wanted to say, sister, continue to be an actress, continue doing what you like to do. In the future, there will definitely be more and more people who like you. The world will never let down people who work hard. Now the atmosphere was burning up and the fans were excited. The host took control and the show proceeded. Today's recording would be broadcasted on Saturday. Once it aired, there would be swarms of comments from people online, jumping out every minute and second. Tonight, Lu Jiwei performed well on stage. She was humble and gentle, not overstepping. Plenty of people were attracted by her looks during this show, and there were plenty of comments praising her showing up on screen after the program aired. Xiao Lu's face has gotten me, it's really more and more good looking the more you look with you. Not amazing at first glance but it's nicer and nicer the more you look at it, this kind is the best. Bloody hell, why did I discover this treasure before Sang Wansi and Ying Xize would help bring the audience's attention to Lu Jiwei from time to time, helping her become the third most popular person. Every time Lu Jiwei was spoken to by the two of them, a barrage of comments would flood the screen. What a young kid! Is this a kid? This is big sis doghead. I suspect these two are fighting for attention. LMAO, it's almost as if Lu Jiwei is being called on in class. Can the two of you warn big sis first next time? Then, it was time for the game segment. Everybody changed into exercise clothes. Lu Jiwei was unlucky, she lost in the first single challenge. The loser had to be punished by using a clothes peg to clip their nose. Seeing the peg, Lu Jiwei's body went cold. She covered her nose with her hand slowly, sorrow filling her face. But this was a variety show, she had to do it. But if the peg was clipped on... Ouch! She suddenly wanted to go into the system and snatch the pain immunity pass to use. Lu Jiwei, save this child is scared of pain. At this moment, Sang Wansi suddenly stood out, I'll do the punishment for her. Everybody looked at her. Sang Wansi calmly protected Lu Jiwei, her body's a bit unique, she's very sensitive to pain and she's scared of pain, so let me do it. Ying Xize, who knew nothing about it, looked at Lu Jiwei. Lu Shijiao, who was sitting below the stage, also looked at Lu Jiwei. The two of them, who had never seen Lu Jiwei in pain, finally knew today that Lu Jiwei was afraid of pain. How do you know that she's scared of pain? Please explain in detail, I don't lack this little bit of data usage. What kind of friendship is this? This is bloody love. Everybody ship. This time-traveling master-servant relationship, last lifetime you protected me, this lifetime I'll protect you, I ship. Our Sang Sang is really beautiful and kind, I'm in love. To Sang Wansi, it was the same to switch the person who would be punished. It would be better than her having to watch Lu Jiwei tear up because of pain. There was nothing to do about it. Whose fault was it that her Jiwei had a physique that was so sensitive to pain? Lu Jiwei wanted to stop her, indicating she could do it. Sang Wansi held her arm, it's okay, just make me more dumplings next time. Lu Jiwei suddenly smiled, she clearly had already promised this year and next year's share of dumplings. Sang Wansi felt it wasn't enough this child. How could she like dumplings so much? Sang Wansi liked broccoli and dumplings. She liked Lu Jiwei's handmade dumplings, she really did. Lu Jiwei said in amusement, let's change it, I've already promised 2 years of dumplings, you'll get sick of it. Sang Wansi said seriously, I'm not sick of it yet. When I'm sick of it, we can change it then. Lu Jiwei's eyes were filled with helplessness, okay, whatever our teacher Sang says. The atmosphere immediately changed. It was as if they were showcasing the daily lives of the two of them. Can you two please pay attention, this is a comedy variety, the romance variety is next door. At Falling for You Every Day, immediately arrange for these two to go on the variety show and date. Are they really not dating? Are they really not dating? Are they really not dating? After the two of them came to a decision, Sang Wansi generously took the punishment for Lu Jiwei. When the peg was clipped onto her nose, the pain rose to a climax. Sang Wansi held onto her nose. She was right, it was the right decision not to let Lu Jiwei do it. It was a good thing she could bear more pain than Lu Jiwei. She didn't make a sound, only furrowing her brows tightly. It wasn't hard to see it was truly painful. Everybody crowded up to show their concern. Sang Wansi's brows smoothed out and she held on to her nose, it's okay, just a little painful. The last 4 words were said while looking at Lu Jiwei. Expectedly, Lu Jiwei's heart ached for her. She apologetically hugged Sang Wansi and stroked her hair to comfort her. I have troubled our teacher Sang. She got what she wanted. Sang Wansi smiled, no trouble. Teacher Lu. Lu Shijiao couldn't see her smile, but she could see the two of them hugging each other. Like a big sister hugging a younger sister, but the action was well rehearsed, as if they had already hugged each other many times. In others' eyes, this might just be the sign of a good friendship, but it wasn't to Lu Shijiao. She recalled Lu Jiwei going to Sang Wansi's room to sleep in over the weekend. In that moment, she suddenly had a very strong feeling. The person my sister likes. Couldn't be Sang Wansi. Once this thought came out, she froze, then shook her head. No way. My sister didn't say she likes women. Don't think too much, they just have a good friendship. I can't randomly guess anymore. The program was recorded smoothly, quickly reaching the end. Everybody on stage and off stage waved their hands in farewell. Liu Shijiao looked at the time, it was 7:15 p.m. The dorm had a 10 p.m. curfew, there was plenty of time for them to get back to school. Lu Mingming poked her, asking if she wanted to go get autographs. Lu Mingming said, I heard Sangwon-C's fans say that they want to go backstage to see Sangwon-C after the program ends. She probably doesn't have anything scheduled after, so she'll be meeting fans backstage. Come with me, you might be able to see your Liu Jiwei. Then she didn't dare to go. Even if there was only Sangwon-C, she didn't dare. What if Sangwon-C recognized her, then her cover would be blown. She smiled slightly, I want to go, you go ahead, I'll wait for you at the main entrance. Lu Mingming looked at her suspiciously, you're a fake fan, aren't you? Who would give up a chance to meet their idol? Liu Shijiao waved her hand, I don't like that kind of rowdiness. Then she raised 3 fingers, the flower pots by the door, I'll definitely not run around, I'll definitely wait for our Miss Lu to come out. Lu Mingming stood up, her brows creased, you're really odd today. Then she continued, then I'm going, if I see Liu Jiwei, I'll help you ask for an autograph. Liu Shijiao paused, it's okay to ask, but don't say my name. Lu Mingming. Liu Shijiao was secretive, I want to maintain a sense of mystery in front of her, understand? Lu Mingming complained, what's so good about maintaining a sense of mystery? The two of them bickered as they left the broadcasting hall, then went their separate ways. This time, Liu Shijiao was obedient and followed the flow of the crowd, not running around randomly. She successfully got to the flower pots by the door and stood there. After 10 minutes, Lu Mingming sent her a message. Mingming, Mingming, too good looking. Mingming, how can someone look like this? Mingming, with this face of hers, I don't blame other people for stepping on my shoes. Wivu. Liu Shijiao. She didn't even need to think to know that she was speaking about Sangwon-C. She didn't have to be so exaggerated. But her brain started thinking about when she met Sangwon-C in person. Alright, it was a little exaggerated. Mingming, I just didn't see Zeze, I think he left. Mingming, sad.jpg. Liu Shijiao thought about it and asked, what about Liu Jiwei? Mingming, it looks like she left too. Liu Shijiao replied with an O and kept her phone. After a few minutes, the fans had pretty much left. Only the lonely street lamp was accompanying her. At this moment, she saw 2 people walk over from the small road. She was very familiar with one of them. Liu Jiwei. Liu Shijiao sucked in a breath of air and pulled her hat down, pretending to look at the scenery as if she didn't know anything. She was praying in her heart that Liu Jiwei didn't see her. Liu Jiwei was heading to her car with Wen Yao. Suddenly, she saw a girl standing alone next to the flower pots. The yellow light from the street lamp shone on her body, highlighting her figure. Liu Jiwei frowned. She didn't know if it was a wrong feeling. She felt like this person really resembled Liu Shijiao. But it wasn't easy to tell with a hat and mask. Liu Jiwei's heart was filled with doubt. She gave Wen Yao a heads up then started walking over. Liu Shijiao saw Liu Jiwei suddenly walk over out of the corner of her eye and her eyes widened as an alarm sounded in her head. Save me, don't come over here. You're doomed, Liu Shijiao, escape. She quickly fished out her phone and pretended to make a call, turning very naturally to walk into another alley, pretending to be calm. Liu Zhiwei felt things weren't so simple, following her. Liu Shijiao was ashamed, she pressed her hat lower and suddenly started running. As the champion of the 100m run in school, she definitely wouldn't lose. Seeing her run so fast, Liu Zhiwei's suspicion was pretty much confirmed. She chased, waiting until nobody was around before she shouted, "Liu Shijiao! Stop there, don't run!" Liu Shijiao didn't listen. It was impossible not to run. If she was caught she would die of awkwardness. Run first, the rest can be discussed after she lived. At most, she could just say she didn't know anything when Liu Zhiwei questioned her. She ran very quickly, not even looking at the route. And she was smart too, turning around the corner wherever there was a road. Liu Zhiwei couldn't catch up at all. Liu Zhiwei panted as she ran. What the hell, was her family's little girl's physique so good? Didn't she hate running the most when she was young? She could run so fast now. Liu Shijiao couldn't help but take a look behind. Seeing a large distance between them, she felt relieved. At this time, she heard Liu Zhiwei shout, "Watch out!" Liu Shijiao turned back in fright, directly colliding into the person who was walking out from the employees' area. Her head bumped into the other person's body. Her hat fell to the floor as she stood there in shock. Her body shook as she started falling backwards. Just as she was about to lose balance completely, the other person reached out and held onto her arm, stabilizing her. When she came back to her senses and looked at the other person, holding her head, she was dumbfounded. Fuck, Ying Xize. How can I bump into him twice in a day? Ying Xize held onto his shoulder and her arm, recognizing her immediately. Then he looked at Liu Zhiwei, who was standing there catching her breath. In an instant, he thought of a lot of possibilities. You actually did something. Liu Shijiao. Don't say it as if I'm a criminal, okay? Ying Xize thought she had offended Liu Zhiwei, considerately dragging her over to Liu Zhiwei. Gee, caught her. Liu Zhiwei looked at her, removing her mask unhesitatingly. Indeed. Liu Zhiwei's anger flared up immediately, her emotions complicated. Liu Shijiao quickly tried to hide behind Ying Xize, struggling against his grip. Ying Xize felt something was wrong, but just as he was about to speak, he saw Liu Zhiwei reach out a hand. Liu Shijiao, come here. Ying Xize. Liu what? Seeing that she couldn't hide from it anymore, Liu Shijiao pulled her arm out of Ying Xize's hold and walked over, a sorrowful expression. Liu Zhiwei asked Liu Shijiao to apologize to Ying Xize. Liu Shijiao looked at her. Liu Zhiwei's face was stern, showing off her authority as an older sister. Shouldn't you apologize after running into someone? Ying Xize couldn't understand. How was he more and more confused? Liu Shijiao immediately said to Ying Xize, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Ying Xize, it's okay. No, wait, I want to know what's the situation now. Can you explain it first? Then he looked at Liu Zhiwei. Liu Zhiwei adjusted her breathing and made the introduction, Liu Shijiao, my younger sister. Ying Xize. The person he had helped today, was actually the younger sister. Liu Shijiao looked at Liu Zhiwei's exceptionally stern expression, then thought of the difference from when she had introduced her to Sang Wanxi. She felt like she was definitely going to die today.